Happy Women's History Month. What is up, everyone? This is Press X to Start Podcast, Season 6, Episode 8. Press X to Start Podcast is an audio and video podcast seeking to transform the video game media landscape through an underserved and protected point of view. I am your host, DJ, a.k.a. The Forbidden D, a.k.a. Sexy Bad Choices, a.k.a. Do You Know Who J.Ann Lopez is? Anyone?
Nope.
No? Okay.
J.Ann Lopez is.
True. I'm going to say that J.Ann Lopez is more popular than Jennifer Lopez. I'm wrong, but I gotta support. J.Ann Lopez is a blogger who is half Cuban and half Jamaican. Marcus, do the bullet thing. Thank you. Thank you. She is the CEO and founder of Black Girl Gamers. It's an online safe space and platform that heightens the visibility of Black women in gaming and advocates for diversity and inclusion. They're partnered with the likes of PlayStation, Square Enix, EA, Netflix, Twitch, Facebook, and Adidas. If you don't know, Adidas stands for All Day I Dream About Scorpions. No, shoes. All day I dream about shoes. So yeah, check her out. She's pretty cool. I first caught wind of her. It was a few years back where she was nominee for like Trending Gamer in the Game Awards. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Who's this person? And I ended up like looking up her stuff. I follow her on Instagram. Like she's really cool. So yeah. Who else is here?
It's your boy, your heavyweight champion from Wish Niggerville, California, a.k.a. the janitor because we watch niggas, a.k.a. I'm Vengeance, a.k.a. Mr. Scottie Pippen because I'm 33 years old today, or yesterday.
Hey.
Mark Simpson.
They're not going to know. Congratulations. You survived another year. How do you feel?
Washed.
Wow. Okay. All you need is a towel, my boy. That's all you need. Who else is here?
It's your boy Jordan, aka JXBot, aka Night City's best net runner, aka the maidenless one.
Oh, okay.
I have no maidens at all.
No bitches.
I've been told many times.
Apparently, you need a maiden to upgrade and level up. So I'm not sure what that says about the real world.
Hey, it is what it is.
All right. And last up.
Hey everyone, I'm Avery.
Nailed it. All right, that is who we are. And the things that we will be talking about today. Oh, wait, I'm in the wrong script. Okay, the things that we'll be talking about today is Epic Games acquires a band camp. Don't know what that's about. Star Wars Eclipse has their release date updated. And everyone is feeling feelings. And then we're going to be talking about more Elden Ring because that's the thing that we need to talk about. All right. The heavy hitter comes from the direct. The direct by way of Sam Hargrave. New Star Wars game reportedly delayed to 2027. Okay.
Good.
God. Yeah. So this is very interesting, kind of crazy.
I'm fine with this in all ways. Like you can talk about.
Okay.
I love hearing about this.
Okay. So if you weren't aware of it, Quantum Dreams, the creators of the cult hit,
Nathan.
Oh, yeah. What's that game called? Why can't I remember that game? Heavy Rain. Oh my God. I was thinking Heavy Arms. I was like, that's not it. It's not it.
You mean the Gundam?
Yes.
Is it Nathan or Jason?
It's Jason.
Yeah.
And then the second one is Sean. The second one, his name is Sean.
All right. So they made Heavy Rain.
Game was Detroit Become Human.
Detroit Become Human. Yeah.
Indigo Prophecy and Beyond Two Souls.
Beyond Two Souls. Okay, so they revealed a action adventure game called Star Wars Eclipse during a trailer, during the 2021 Game Awards, and
Which I was
essentially that, oh yeah, that's right, yeah, he was in person, yeah, okay, big shout out.
Yeah, that was the Marcus Ellison report. We got that information straight from Marcus.
He actually broke the news. No one else knew except for him.
Yeah.
Eat your heart out, Jeff.
I'm a reporter.
Number 2 game journalist, Marcus Ellison.
Right. So Star Wars Eclipse was crazy. No one expected it, and it blew everyone's minds at the same time. Everyone was kind of wondering, like, okay, well, when is this coming out? Because there was no release date or anything tied to that. So we got a recent story break. According to an exclusive report from X-Fire's Tom Henderson, Quantic Dream's High Republic set Star Wars Eclipse is expected to release in 2027 or 2028 due to difficulties hiring staff for the next-gen project. To go into that further, back in December 2021, Quantic Dream had over 60 job openings available at the French studio, which remains the case today at 67 vacancies currently listed on its site. This is shocking, but not shocking to anyone that's following the industry. So the news comes after years of accusations of sexual harassment and toxic workplace culture pointed towards the French studio. Following the reported release delay, hashtag Blackout Star Wars Eclipse began trending on Twitter in response to the controversy surrounding the studio. So to go along with the story, Jeff Grubb also checked in and confirmed that this is the case. And he said cynically...
Because the issue with this story is it came from like one of those very, very, very weird small websites that often partake in just like going on NeoGAF and seeing if someone said anything and then reporting it as content. So like I didn't believe this until I saw Jeff Grubb share the tweet and say, I also confirmed this, so this is a real story.
Right, yeah. So as Avery said that, Jeff Grubb tweeted and said, cynically, a good reason not to even have the appearance of a toxic environment at your studio is that you might be fucked when making your next game because no one wants to work with you. And I think this all kind of goes into the fact that they're not able to get people into the studios to work on these games and pushing back the release date.
So,
you want to say something, Jordan?
Yes. When this game was first announced, I was excited until I saw who was developing it, being Quantic Dreams. I have nothing against Quantic Dreams. People do enjoy their games, but Detroit Beyond Human left a pretty sour taste in my mouth in terms of that story.
That?
Yep.
Or you just
Press X and Civil Rights. And seeing that the project management where it is right now, to which they were given money to flesh out those positions, but didn't have the HR infrastructure to fill them, but also because of it's clear that this story goes beyond what is being told here. Like people there are workers, there are game developers that have clearly blacklisted this studio. So what EA needs to do, not EA, what Disney needs to do is cancel this fucking game. Cancel it. Like 5 years, like just cancel it, give it to somebody else, and just because there's no point right now. 5 fucking years.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
I mean, okay.
Just cancel this shit.
One, if the game doesn't exist, you can't really give it to someone else. So like,
yeah, I mean, like cancel it, but it doesn't need to come out.
Honestly, I like Quantic Dream. I like their games. I think they are the best at doing those type of games. Like just from a production and actual gameplay standpoint, like as much as I love the Life is Strange of the world and I love the Telltales of the world, the things that those games always lack are actual like gameplay
choice,
and actual mechanical choices. And for the most part, Cage's games at least give them to them. His games are relatively hit or miss in that Heavy Rain, I think, is a fantastic game with some weird narrative choices. I think but I think Beyond the Two Souls is probably one of the worst written games he's ever made, which could have probably been saved with a little bit of editing. With just a little bit of editing. I think
as the only person here that played Indigo Prophecy, that also slaps.
Yeah, Indigo Prophecy slaps as well. And then I think Detroit is probably their best made game. And my issues with that game are less with its civil rights themes and more that I just think robot versus human conflicts are boring. So the entire Marcus portion of that game is just like the most uninteresting thing to me, and that's 1/3 of that game. And so like I just don't care about it.
This is a studio that's having severe issues with the treatment of women.
I understand. I didn't get to really finish my thought. I'm in the mindset that because we had this discussion ages ago on this podcast about what to do with Quantic Dream, especially when all this stuff got blah blah. And I was of the mindset that when this shit comes out in the streets and we know everything, it will solve itself. And this is an example of it solving itself. No one wants to work for them. If no one wants to work for them, either two things can happen. Either the studio itself needs to implode and its creatives go somewhere else to make something else, or they
cut out the cancer.
Yeah, or they as a studio need to refocus on what type of games they want to make. In regards to Star Wars Eclipse, should Disney cancel it? It depends on what Disney wants. Because here's the thing. They should, like, this Quantic Dream stuff, it's been out in the ether for years. Disney would have gone into this partnership knowing full well what this studio was about and everyone's involved. And so they've made this decision to get in bed with them. So I think
that's what's super weird though. Yeah. Like the fact that the stuff has been out there in Disney. So it's like, yeah, you can do Star Wars. Yeah, go for it.
I trust John Drake with a lot of their Disney like video game stuff because he's been doing a lot of really good work. And this has been one of them. I'm with Jordan of the mindset when I saw Star Wars Eclipse, I'm like, this looks interesting. I'm not like the biggest like video game Star Wars fan, so I wasn't like, yes, brand new Star Wars, because like the last brand new Star Wars game I got, Jedi Fallen Order, I didn't really love. So like when I got to Quantic Dream, I was like, oh, now I'm interested in this because I like the games they make. That being said, I was also of the mindset that interesting choice. I really want to see where this is going. Now we see where it's going. Ultimately. So to finish my thought, because ultimately what Jordan is talking about, for the most part, I agree with 100%. I'm just of the mindset that Disney went into this partnership 100% knowing all the problems with the studio. So like there's the whole, oh no, we're canceling it because we didn't know this would be a problem. That's fucking dumb. You 100% knew this was going to be a problem. Like there's no way you didn't know this was going to be a problem. So you can't act like this. You can't like act like the Saints in this matter. You're Disney. You've already mismanaged Star Wars as it is. Like, I say just fucking let it go. Give them the time to see what they do. If the game is ultimately bullshit at the very end, then like it is what it is. You're Disney, you have the money, no one cares.
Was this was this the first game that LucasArts Publishing, because like that's a recent thing. They did Indiana Jones is about to come out. Is this the second game that they're developing right now?
Oh, because there is the KOTOR remake that we already knew about before this.
Okay. Frankly, I mean, I think if they were to kind of slide the game over into someone else's camp and they still wanted to have that ability to tell a game story in a Quantic Dream way with a lot of choice and effectiveness on narrative by your choices, I'm almost like, just go to BioWare then. Like,
I have two things with that. One, BioWare has already made BioWare. One, A, is having a Star Wars game they made being remade, and two, are still working on the Old Republic. I'm not sure if that game is still alive.
No, it is. I posted that trailer.
They're already, and they're also dealing with the fact that, hey, we're also trying, like, if they give it to BioWare, we still see that game in 2027 because they're working on
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're that committed to
come out,
this, if it's still not coming out till 2027,
and then two, all the reports of Star Wars Eclipse indicate that it's maybe not even going to be a Quantic Dream-esque game.
Then why give it to Quantic Dream?
If I'm guessing, is that they had a pitch for the New Republic stuff that Disney really liked.
I think that's where I sit on all of this. Like, yeah, Quantic Dream is a terrible place. Like, we've seen all that stuff. Yeah, it's super weird that Disney is going with Quantic Dream to make a Star Wars game that is, for at least how I look at it, there's going to be like combat in that game. And I think I appreciate what Quantic Dreams in terms of their decision making, like gameplay mechanics and stuff, and how that's like, you know, for lack of better words, pretty revolutionary. I fall off when I think of like them doing combat, because I've heard that Detroit's combat is, or Detroit's, I guess, combat is like not great. Like when it comes to the moving and like any of that stuff, it's that's where it falters a lot.
Quantic Dream has always had weird combat in that it's very button prompty, but not in the way that it's not easy button prompty. It's very much so. It's almost rhythm based at places, and you know that's a choice. I will say that, like, for me personally, if it is a Quantic Dream style game, I'm not playing, like, because I'm probably the, out of everybody here, or maybe I'm on the same level with DJ, but like I'm the least Star Wars fan. Like I don't really care that much, but the fact that this style of game being made in the Star Wars universe, I'm very interested in that possibility, because I'm like, I'm always a big fan of games where your choices mean something, or, you know, they give you chances to go down different roads, and having that be in the Star Wars universe. And from at least the looks of that trailer, it doesn't seem like a Star Wars universe that I'm familiar with. I've never really seen.
Yoda's in the trailer, so there's that.
Was Yoda in the trailer?
Yeah.
Oh, well, even still, it doesn't seem like Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker's in the game.
You could play Knights of the Republic. That
old
was a
game's
game of
old.
choices. All right, whatever. Then fuck it. I tried to give you a way out.
I mean, I'll play the remake. But like,
that's what that choice system is. You know?
No, yeah, but that what I'm saying is, like, when I found out about Eclipse, it was like, oh, I'm intrigued, because it was the type of game that is usually up my alley. But that being said, like, I'm in agreement with like everything else that you guys are saying. With like, at this point, Lucas or Disney knew what they were doing by choosing Quantic Dream. There's no way they didn't know. And so now it's just really about seeing how Quantic Dream adjusts and how they choose to move forward, because either they're going to fumble the bag or going to adapt.
The most interesting thing is, if they fumble this bag, then that's them as a studio just dunsky. Like you can't get the Star Wars job and then do super poor and then be like, we're also a shitty studio.
They'll basically be Gina Carano in that way.
Like, here's the thing. I love Naughty Dog. Love Naughty Dog. They put out The Last of Us Part 2. Chef's kiss. You get to do that because you can have workplace problems and put that game out, and I'll be like, same with Red Dead. You could be like, yeah, but you put out Red Dead. So I'm like, okay, but you can't be also shitty studio and then put out fucking X-Blade.
And I'll say that, like, also, at least with the Naughty Dog situation, like, the crunch stuff was definitely an issue, but outside of that, it doesn't seem like it's a dumpster fire studio. Like,
sexual harassment and all that.
Exactly. So, like, they can get away with that in terms of, like, crunch is a industry-wide problem, and doesn't make it okay, but it's still just like, okay, well, this is something that on a macro level needs to be worked on, as opposed to Quantic Dream, where it's like, nah, bro, you need to get these people the fuck up out of there, because this has never been okay.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see what happens. Like, 2027, 2028 is very far off, and as we know, games and release dates are very flexible, and a lot of things can happen between now and 2027. So
that would be very close to the end of this console generation, because usually console generation is between 6 to 8 years, and these consoles came out in 2020, so it's like the tail end.
I mean, it
Be a
depends.
Our
cross-section
podcast
game,
still
you
gonna be a thing. You think?
Yes, Marcus, you'll still be editing hour-and-a-half long episodes.
Into your chat.
So just prepare.
That'll just mean my career ain't going nowhere.
He'll be editing an hour and a half an episode.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh man. So yeah, it's one of those things where it sucks for the people who are in the studio that's like giving their all to trying to work on this game, knowing that there's empty seats to the left and right of them, and there's nothing they can really do about that. But I mean, I think when you zoom out a little bit, this is sort of an issue that the entire industry itself is dealing with, because you do see a lot of trailers where I think the last Starfield trailer, Todd Howard said this is Starfield. And remember, you can always go to our website to see what position we have available. Maybe you can come help and make this magic or whatever.
Yeah, the mindset that every video game trailer we're seeing nowadays, especially for games that aren't even imminent, is that they're just advertisements to get people into the studio.
Yeah, and I think
which is what I'm guessing the Star Wars Eclipse was as a trailer.
Right. Yeah. And I think the reason why we're seeing this happen is that we are getting, like, in the grand scheme of gaming, like we're in the phase of everything that's bad about happening in the game industry and the studios is coming out. And I think that is possibly giving a negative impression about what it is what's the experience like making video games. So people are a little hesitant, and on top of the whole pandemic and all the other stuff that's pressing on us, like I feel like all that's kind of contributing to this whole, like, oh, we don't have enough developers, we need to figure this out, like something's happening. So, but as things do, they should correct themselves. So we'll see what happens. All right, well, that has been the episode for today. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoyed making it. Don't forget to rate and reviews on your favorite podcasting apps. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And then to share your device that you are looking at or listening with to your friend, and then tell them about the podcast, because we would appreciate that spreading of the word. If you miss any of this, you can find all details and more on our website at pressx2start.com. And until next time, you be safe, you take care, you pray for Ukraine, and you wash your hands.